everyone. Welcome to a conversation style Tokyo Pen Shop video. I don't think we've definitely had videos before where we were chatting in the warehouse, but I don't think we've done this kind of frequently asked questions style video. Yeah, but basically we felt like there were some frequently asked questions we wanted to address and just some things that we wanted to tell everyone. So, a lot of our YouTube viewers would be used to me. Hi, I'm Kimberly. And this is Nick. He works with us here at Tokyo Pen Shop.
Hi.
And, full disclosure, he is my brother-in-law.
How we do.
And yeah, you've been on the channel before, so
Yeah,
and
sure.
working
Hi,
with us a
everybody.
long time. And
Happy to see you all.
we hope Frank will be able to join us in the future. Since this is the first time we've done this style, we have him behind the scenes helping with some tech stuff.
It's an experiment.
Yeah, it's an experiment. All right. So, I know, Nick, that you wanted to address some of the customer request type of emails you get and just things people might not know about that. So why don't we start there?
Sure. The main thing that I wanted to talk about was that we sometimes get customer request emails for products that, maybe they see on Instagram or out in the world and want to know if we can get them, if we're going to get them. And that is really beneficial for us. I think we put a lot of energy into trying to guess what kinds of products you will like. So if you tell me directly or tell us directly that you want something, then that's really a win for everyone, I think. We might not always be able to get them, but we definitely can look into it. And also, there are only a few of us here, so there is not going to be there are 5 of us. So if you request a product, we're not going to have a focus group and we're not going to have 6 meetings about it. I'm just going to ask Kimberly if we should get it, and she's going to say yes or no, and then we're going to get it. So so sometimes shipping time from Japan aside, we can get a new product in fairly quickly if you're interested. So if you have something you see that you're interested in that comes from Japan, please let us know.
Yeah. I'll add a little bit, I think, about limited editions, because I was thinking of some stuff when you were talking about that. So one thing that happens with limited editions is, so these are items that we'll order like months in advance.
Right.
And sometimes what'll happen is at the last minute, we'll be told we're not getting it. And for reasons we don't know, it's out of our control.
Or we're only getting a
half
tenth
of what we ordered. Or a tenth.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, that's happened. But basically, when it comes to limited editions, I think it's kind of important to know, like, by the time you're seeing a limited edition on, like, Mitsubishi Japan's Instagram, we've probably had to order that like months and months ago. And that includes paying for it. So that's part of our process, is we order and pay for these things long before they come out.
Right.
So limited
and likely
editions
we might not have the opportunity to order more at that point if we wanted to.
Right.
Very likely.
Right. So that's sometimes why you'll see, they intentionally restrict the amount of these limited editions they make. So, sometimes you'll see that we'll have something and it'll just sell out really fast. And, believe us when we say we would like to get more, but we can't always, But we do the signups. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about the
Definitely, sure.
Yeah.
That's one of the features of our newer website that I'm excited about, and I think has have been benefiting our customers quite a bit, is the ability to sign up to be notified if a if and when a product is restocked. So most of the time in the product page, if it's out of stock, down at the bottom there will be uh, a button you can put in your information and sign up to have an email sent to you or a text message when the product is restocked. And
Right.
sometimes if we think a product is going to be very popular, we try to even put it up on the site as a coming soon product,
Mm-hmm.
um, in large part so that people can sign up to be notified when the
Mm-hmm.
product is launched. In that case,
Mm-hmm.
just so um, customers that are really excited about a product can find out right away when the product is launched.
Right. Partly that is sort of our creative compromise between, I know there are people who would really like to be able to pre-order things, but we don't take pre-orders on our site right now for a couple of reasons. One reason is that some of our companies that we work with, like Midori Traveler's Notebook, they
Right.
specifically say we are not allowed to take pre-orders, even though they do.
Right.
So, I like we follow the rules. We're good
We're
rule
rule
followers.
followers.
And then, but a main reason I am against taking pre-orders is because of what I mentioned before, where even though we've ordered these and paid for them months in advance, so we believe they're coming, it's just happened often enough that
Yeah.
we don't get what we ordered.
Right.
So I really don't think that would be fair to, you know, take
Yeah.
someone's money before we have
Right.
something.
Yeah. And it
Um,
it feels like it would be an even more disappointing customer experience, more so than
yeah,
missing out on something, than thinking that you were assured an item and
totally.
then getting a "so sorry" email about it.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, so but that's just some of the, behind the scenes struggles that we have, and the
Yeah.
why you see that, like, oh, we're not doing something like pre-orders, that maybe you
Mm-hmm.
are like, why why wouldn't they just take pre-orders?
Right.
It's like,
Right.
yeah. And I know some companies also will like to do pre-orders because that's how they pay for the stuff they're ordering, but again, I just don't really think that's fair to the customer.
Yeah.
So we don't do it. I thought of one more thing about limited editions.
Yes.
Every once in a while, we will choose not to get a limited edition because they come in these big sets of like multiple products.
Right.
And sometimes you'll get like, for like the one cool thing in the limited edition, you'll get like five of those and like 100 not cool things or like ugly things.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a balance.
Yeah.
It feels like more often the case that we just can't get as much as we want, but
Yeah.
sometimes it is a balance of, you know, there's this some really cool items, and then how are we gonna sell this other stuff that comes with
Right.
it?
Right. And sometimes the other thing, like, you'll see is like a limited edition will sell out of like all the colors but one, because sometimes they will give you twice as many in the set of like the red ink, for
Mm-hmm.
example.
Right.
And then we just know, like, okay, we're gonna have red ink left over. I
There are going to
hope a
be
teacher
some
wants it or
opportunities
something.
for limited edition red ink on our
Yeah.
site if you look
Yep.
around.
Yep. Totally. Yeah. All right. So, do you have the next
I,
topic you'd like to talk about?
yeah, I do have a couple of other things I wanted to talk about. Um,
Great.
One is just from an ordering perspective that you likely already know this, but if you don't, our warehouse and our shipping location is in Iowa, which is, smack
Good
dab in the
point.
middle of the country. So, uh,
A lot of people think we're in Tokyo because of our name, of course.
right,
Like,
right. But, often our customers can expect a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day shipping time uh, from when their orders leave our warehouse to when it reaches them, even on the coast. So,
yeah,
um,
it's
for
pretty
domestic
quick.
orders, yeah,
Mm-hmm. And don't you feel like during the pandemic, oh my gosh, like packages were getting stuck in the hubs where people couldn't come into work because so many people had COVID, and
yeah,
um, stuff was
and
like
I think so
waiting
many
to go on
people were
boat.
ordering things online that had not been
Yeah,
ordering things online previously. It
yeah,
was a wild time, but
yeah, it was crazy,
mostly it
especially
feels like
international
things are sorted now.
customers.
Yes,
Hmm. Yeah,
right,
they were
yeah,
like waiting forever to get their stuff. I feel like it's more back to normal, like
I agree. I agree.
not it's during a lot of people probably just have no idea, like during the height of the pandemic, pe- people in like Europe would order and then we would ship their order right away, but it would just sit waiting. There weren't enough planes going, and so it would sit waiting to get on a ship, and then it would take another month, and then it would be backlogged in their custom. It was
Right.
nuts.
There weren't enough planes going because this is something I learned, is that most, at least the kind of mail that we do, it just hitches a ride on a commercial flight.
Right.
No commercial flights, then all these
Right.
packages are just hanging out.
Right.
So,
It was wild.
um, yeah, but it's better now. It's better now. Have
Yeah,
no
it's better
fear.
now. Yay.
It's better
So
now.
if
Have
you
no fear.
are in Europe and you ordered from us during the pandemic, it is better.
Sorry if you had a poor experience.
Yeah.
It's very
It was
likely going to be better now.
it wasn't good for either side.
No.
Kind of on that note, our
Yes.
when we went over to a new basically when we shifted over to Shopify,
Right.
um, we changed the way we do shipping.
Yes.
We
Mm-hmm.
used to do this flat rate shipping, and now, right? And I mean, domestically, it was 35 and over is free, but
Right.
everything else was flat rate. And then when we went over to Shopify, we could just charge the customer exactly what it costs to ship their
Right.
items.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a
So I
lot more
feel
control over
like,
that.
yeah, I feel like in some cases that's, a better deal for the customer. And
It certainly feels like a fairer way to do it
yeah,
than to just try to kind of average it all out.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but again, if you're in the United States and you are $35 and over, you still have free shipping. So
Right.
for some people, they would notice no change at all.
Sure. Yeah.
um,
I do have one
yeah.
more thing to that. As long as we're talking about shipping,
Yeah.
that in the era of autocorrect and autofill, something that is
Oh yeah.
happening more often
Yeah.
lately is that the shipping addresses that people enter are sometimes incorrect or incomplete, and that can, that's an experience that neither of us want. So
Right.
uh, I would encourage our customers to double check the shipping address before they make an order. If
Right.
now that
Right.
your browser can save addresses, or sometimes
Mm-hmm.
some of these payment services like PayPal or ShopPay can save addresses. Sometimes the address is from 2 moves ago, or
Mm-hmm.
it autofills and it doesn't put your apartment number or
Yeah.
something like this. So
Yeah.
uh, it seems lately like most of the shipping issues that we're having are related to that kind of
Yeah.
shipping
So don't
address
assume
autofill.
just because autofill that it's correct. Like you really have to look at
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a couple things
Yeah.
that I would love to tell people about. So, some of our customers might have noticed that something is going on with the Sarasa Select.
Yes, it
And that
is.
something, sadly, is that it's been discontinued. So, I kept thinking, hoping that kind of like when they evolved, I should say, yeah, when they evolved from the pre-fill to the Sarasa Select,
Right.
I thought that was maybe going to happen again, that maybe they were like changing the barrel style or
Right.
something.
It was sort of
But,
unclear for a while what was going
mm-hmm,
on.
right. So, first, what we noticed is no more Sarasa Select barrels were possible to order from Zebra. And
Yeah. They discontinued some of the colors for a
yeah,
while,
yeah.
and
And then
then they
nothing,
were
you
all
can't
gone.
get anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but they still had the refills available. And then finally, they have pulled all of the interesting colors and the refills from their site. And as you noticed, also all the point three. So,
Right.
um, it's basically to say, what we have left of, we still do have a nice like supply of Sarasa Select refills.
In most
Some,
colors.
yes, some colors have um, sold out. Like I was just looking at this yesterday. Like I think there's like point 0.4 light blue is gone, and
Right.
one of the sizes of yellow, and like so we're slowly getting drained of the attributes. But if there is a Sarasa Select refill you really like, I would get it while you can. They're still going to make black, blue, red, and green in point 0.4 and point 0.5.
Right.
um at least that's the latest. Who knows? Like, those refills also fill some some of the Sarasa multis, so that's probably why they're going to continue
Right.
doing in those regular colors. And then, I'm still holding out hope that they're going to come out with some kind of replacement. But I mean, this has been going on for a long time. I just don't know. Um,
They
and
certainly
then
didn't introduce the next thing before they
no,
got rid of the last thing.
no, no. And I wonder if part of it is like having to do with the eco changes, because they're moving to stricter requirements of materials needing to be like a certain percentage recycled, and like
Right.
and the packaging has to be more eco-friendly too.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps that's part of what's going on. So we do have some, very, very, very few, but some barrels left. We've got, especially in the point 0.5, we have some of the pastel barrels and some of the soft grip barrels left. But I mean, like,
Oh, in the 5 color.
yeah,
Right.
I bet
Yes.
in total in our inventory we have less than 20 like barrels left at this
We
point.
don't have a ton. We do, luckily, I guess in hindsight, some of those barrels I think were maybe limited edition releases
The
that
soft
we
grip, I
were
think, were.
able to get a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of, and
Mm-hmm.
so we're
Yeah.
fortunate that we still have some right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, basically kind of last chance as far as we know on
Yeah.
any of that Sarasa Select. And again, I waited to talk about this because I thought surely,
Right.
I'm a pre-fill slash Sarasa Select lover.
Yes.
So I was like,
Yes.
surely they will be. But, if
I'm
you like that blue green or, any of those like colors that aren't even really in the other custom
mm-hmm.
multis,
Yeah.
grab them up.
Right. And I believe the pencil unit is also being
Point,
discontinued. So,
yes, yes. And I believe we have no more point 0.5, but we still have point 0.3 and
mm,
point 0.7, but it is
okay.
out of the catalog. So,
Right.
yeah, which makes sense. Like there's no
Sure.
barrel to put it in anymore.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Um,
I'm still holding out
so
hope that they're going to come out with some new thing and it's going to have vintage
yeah,
ink and it's going to be
yeah,
so awesome.
surely. Surely. Yeah. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. But I know there were, a lot of people asking about that,
Yeah.
um, and then I feel like there was one other. I mean, no, go ahead.
Well,
Did you?
the only other thing I had, sort of back to shipping experience, is uh, something that happens, especially if you haven't ordered with us before. Some of our new customers receive their order and then believe that we have sent them incorrect items.
Oh,
Uh,
right. This is
and
an
we're
important one.
Yeah, and I always feel bad about it, and but luckily, almost every time it's a quick fix to sort out, and the reason for that is because we often reuse uh, Japanese pen boxes to protect items during shipping. They're I personally think they're cool looking, and the manufacturers know a lot about shipping pens around the world and keeping them safe in transit. So who am I to try to reinvent the wheel? So we, depending on what you have purchased, you might receive a box that looks like it is for a different item. Uh,
Right, right. But it's
and
really maybe like your 10 pens in this
your 10
bulk pen
pens are in a
box that
box that
came
is
to
not one
us.
of the 10 pens you ordered,
Right,
or
right,
your erasers might come in a box that looks like it is for pencil lead or something.
right,
uh,
right. And the
so
alternative is that, so the alternative to this, so this is basically our eco solution, because the alternative is that we are putting hundreds of
so
these
many
perfect
boxes.
boxes into
Yeah,
recycling every day, because all of our bulk items are coming from the
right,
manufacturers, and these um and then putting your stuff in like plastic or new packaging or something, it doesn't make
right,
sense.
right.
So that's why you'll see that. And yeah, so if you get a box from us that doesn't look like what you ordered, but it's like nicely taped up with washi tape,
Yeah, or
please
sometimes
look
packing tape.
inside.
Yeah, feel
Yeah.
free to look in there and see what is hiding in the box.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say for the most, mostly it's definitely confused many people. So like if
Yeah,
this has ever confused you, you're not alone. But
no,
most people when they learn what's going on, they're like pleased that we're recycling. Um
yes,
very, very, very seldom. I mean, maybe like once someone's been angry about it, but I just kind of feel like, well, we can't please everyone. And I think this is a good eco solution. And like you said, it's like these are made to safely ship, pens and stuff. So it's
right.
kind of like the perfect eco solution.
Right. I'm still looking for the perfect messaging or
Yeah.
way to avoid the distress that customers sometimes
Yeah.
have when they receive a package
Yeah.
that they're real excited for and briefly believe
Think
that
they
they've
got the
got the
wrong
wrong thing,
thing.
but
Yeah.
it seems to generally work out okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's been like, over 20 minutes, and I feel like what I'd really like is to just have people let us know what topics they would like us to cover in the next video. So if they could leave, a comment below to let us know what questions they have that they don't feel
Sure.
like we covered in this video, that would be really cool. And then I'm sure as soon as we finish, we will remember like 20 things we wanted to tell people. And so we'll just put them in the next
Right.
video.
Right. Excellent.
All right. Do you want to say
Well, we'll
bye?
see you next time.
Okay. Bye, everyone.